All right, I just want to call the meeting, May 1st, 2018, our town board meeting to order. And if we can all start by standing for the pledge. Catherine, since it's Catherine Kent's birthday, we'll ask her to start the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Jim, do you have somebody?
Yes, this afternoon, we're very pleased to have with us as part of our faith community, the Reverend Janet Wright, to lead us in our invocation.
Would you mind please standing? Please join me in prayer. O Holy One, source of our being and God of many names, we ask for your presence here this afternoon as the leadership of the Riverhead town will discern and discuss the issues of importance. May we listen and speak to each other with civility and respect. And we pray, O Great Spirit, that you will be with the women and men who serve us all in the military and with their families, as this day we remember Deshaun Briggs of the 106th Rescue Wing. Please guide us as we work together for all the persons in our town, the children, the elders, the homeless, the business owners, the workers, everyone, so our community will be strong and vibrant. We ask all this in your name, O Holy One. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Wright.
Thank you. All right. About 15 other versions here, so Diane, I will turn it over to
Are we
you.
going to adopt the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, let me just find my place here.
Well, you're looking for we have the fire marshal thing came up.
Too many papers.
Did we just get one? John, did you?
Yes, I did.
You did,
Hold on.
okay, all right, that's fine.
I'll pass this.
You want me to make a motion to approve the minutes for April
Let me
7th?
have to
Yes,
find
can I have a first and second to approve the minutes for April 17th, 2018?
Also move it.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yeah.
Giglio,
Yes.
Jen Smith. I'm
Yes.
all out of sync.
Well,
Yeah,
us,
you
so
take a second, Diane,
You
get
got
your,
us there,
get
very
your,
good.
No,
get
because
your,
I'm looking for my other papers.
You knows all our names, that's pretty good.
I did, not in order, but I got them. But I had an agenda here, and now I can't find it.
do
So-
you want another agenda?
I do, yes, that would be great.
Here, I believe it is.
All right, thank you. I'll find it later. Okay. Under correspondence, we had 5 letters in response to the Q&E hearing for Calverton Aviation and Technology. Also, just to let everyone know, this week's town board work session has been canceled, so there will not be a work session. Under reports, the tax receiver total tax collection to date as of April 18th is $90,532,51.22. Riverhead IDA submitted their 2017 financial statements. The building department submitted their April monthly report, and that was $137,564.92. And that's it.
Thank you very much. All right, so at this time, it is 2:10, and I would like to open the public hearing for the consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 301 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 55, 56, Site Plan Review 301-305, Application Procedures and Fees. Jeff Murphy, I'll ask from our planning department to come up and address it first.
Good afternoon. The proposed law seeks to do 2 things. One, it seeks to codify a planning policy that we already have in place and have been doing, but it's not in our code. It has to do with post-approval and post-construction construction and site inspections. So it codifies what we're expecting of applicants to provide to the planning department. Before you can get a certificate of occupancy, you have to get a final inspection by the planning department to make sure that all the improvements have been built according to the approved site plan. So what this does is it requires an as-built survey by the applicant and requires that you pay the application fee. The second thing this proposed law does is if an applicant has constructed the building or done site work and then submits a site plan application, the application fee will now become double. We're trying to discourage applicants and property owners from developing their properties without getting site plan approval, without building permits. So the law seeks to impose a penalty and recoup some of that additional review time.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board? Anybody from the public like us to come up and address the board on this public hearing? Seeing nobody, I will close the public hearing and leave the written portion open until, what's generally the number of days? 10 days till May 11th. With that, we have no other public hearings today. If anybody from the audience would like to come up and address the board on any matters on the agenda, I welcome you to come up.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton.
Go to the one round. Yeah, Laura?
Resolution 318.
Ones come in off the floor so people know they're coming.
Okay, you know what, I'll let you start. We also have 7 resolutions coming off the floor. So I think we should do them, since there's a couple, let's do this, and then we'll do that at the end in bulk.
Okay.
And have them come up. So go ahead.
318.
318, the third whereas. Add in the words "be waived" after the word "fee."
The third whereas.
Yep.
Okay.
Resolution 320.
We got more than one today? You were on a roll there. Okay.
Well, the one I'm looking at is the attendance of members of the East End Regional Intervention Court, Drug Court, at the annual training.
Mm-hmm.
It's incomplete. I mean, there's no airfare for Alan Smith, and there's no way you're gonna keep it under 8,500 once he gets his airfare.
We did check on that. John, do you want to address that?
Yeah, my understanding is he's traveling with another individual, so he doesn't have to pay for separate airfare. But he just.
It's a companion fare,
Right, so they.
So there wouldn't be an additional charge. That would be the full charge for the,
Okay. Resolution 327. We never had a town budget officer. Now, all of a sudden, we need a town budget officer. Is this gonna be a 12-month job?
this is to fulfill Larry Levy's position that was in my office. There were 2 people in there, the town budget officer, we had a prior town budget officer that we hired, I guess, in January, who did not work out, so we're replacing that town budget officer.
Okay. Did that come off the civil service list?
It is not, it's an at-will employee, it is not off the civil
All right,
service list.
thank you.
How's Brian doing anyway? Oh, I guess we'll find out. Whatever.
John, can I just ask you something? On my desk are the resolutions, 9 through 15, if you could just grab them for me.
What are they doing there?
I'm reading through them. Okay, so, we can start with the resolutions. I do know what they are.
Well,
Just-
the first one's gonna be probably amended a little bit.
Yes, it will be. Who is to read off the
Me.
first one? Okay, I request that when you read it off, just to amend it so that the name would be, Dashan J. Briggs,
Okay?
Way.
Way.
And then we will include the emblem. We're just waiting on 106 for them to determine what would be the appropriate emblem to be used.
Okay. All right, now Resolution 309 authorizes the honorary name designation of Deshaun J. Briggs Way for Lewis Street. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
I'm very pleased that we're doing this, and I vote yes.
Hubbard,
Absolutely, yes.
Giglio,
Thank him for his service, yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith,
Yes, And I would just like to check with the board if the date for, we've checked with the family, May 26th, which would be the Saturday of the Memorial Day weekend at 10 a.m., if that's okay with everybody's schedule. We would like to do it then.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 310.
Ratifies the attendance of 2 police department employees to a marine law enforcement program, MLE. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 311.
Approves the attendance of 2 police department employees to a Marine Patrol Vessel Operation Course, MPVOC. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 312.
Appoints a temporary part-time sign inspector. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 313.
It changes the status of a part-time police officers. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 314.
Reappoint seasonal pump-out boat operators. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
14 an hour. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 315.
Awards bid for propane. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 316.
Authorizes town supervisor to execute engineering agreement, re the upgrade and improvement of the Calverton Sewer District. So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 317.
That may be a long one to get
Yeah,
through.
just wait a
My
second.
goodness gracious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to do your state contract.
It's all right, I'm almost there. 600 more pages to go.
317.
17.
Holy
You have the hard copy? I'll just read the hard copy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Although I don't have glasses today. Authorizes town clerk to publish and post the attached notice to bidders for the removal of dry cake sludge and grit screen waste. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 318.
Approves the Chapter 255 application of the Long Island Moose Classic Car Club. Car show for the Wounded Warriors of Long Island, Saturday, June 9th, 2018, and that is at Tanger Outlet Center. Yes. So moved.
Seconded.
And
Moved
yes.
and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes, as it was amended.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 319.
Approves Chapter 255 application of Peconic Bay Medical Center Northwell Health Family Festival, July 4th through July 7th, 2018. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 320.
Authorizes attendance of members of East End Regional Intervention Court, Drug Court, at the annual training conference. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 321.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract agreement between the town of Riverhead and William Coyle, Court Reporting Services. So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 322.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract agreement between the town of Riverhead and Terry Tramontano Falcaro Court Reporter Services. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 323.
Authorizes the reduction of performance security of Manzi Homes East LLC in connection with the residential subdivision known as Old Orchard at Baiting Hollow. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 324.
Approves Metro Group of Long Island Incorporated as drain layer for Riverhead Sewer District. So moved.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 325.
It rescinds Resolution 225 of 2018, 180225. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 326.
Ratifies the authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 327.
Acknowledge appointment of town budget officer. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and we're very happy to have Megan Zagarella joining us. So, yes,
You here?
Resolution adopted. Resolution 328.
she's in Australia.
I don't know what she looks like.
Setting terms and conditions of employment for Megan Zegarelli, Town Budget Officer to the Supervisor. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
No, I think that she should be paying 25% of her health benefits as other appointed representatives of the town are.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, very
Re-
happy to have her come on board.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 329.
This ratifies the appointment of a call-in clerk to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 330.
Appoints a beach manager to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
One of the same person. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 331.
Appoints a call-in park attendant 1 to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 332.
Appoints a call-in park attendant to the Recreation Department. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 333.
This authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Celtic Quest Incorporated. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Today.
Resolution 334.
Somewhere, we gotta find it right here. These-
Appoints member to the Veterans Advisory Committee. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, very happy
Resolution.
to have Brian on board.
Yeah, I like where-
Resolution adopted. Resolution 335.
Ratifies reappointment of member to the Town of Riverhead Ethics Board. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, very happy to have Donna continue.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 336.
Assume lead agency status and issue a determination of significance pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SECRA, for a special permit and site plan application known as 203 to 213 East Main Street, Riverhead, New York. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 337.
337. Authorizes Lawrence M. Levy to provide additional cable cast production services regarding the 2018 State of the Town address on April 10th, 2018 at 6 o'clock at the Town Board Meeting Room, Riverhead Town Hall, 200 Isle Avenue, Riverhead, Nunc Pro Tunc.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 338.
Approves the settlement. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 339.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Hampton Oyster Company LLC to allow the installation of floating upweller system known as FLUPSI in East Creek. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 340.
Pays bills, so moved.
Oh, Lord. Second.
I'm sorry, moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, now,
Oh, no, there's more.
yeah.
Okay, 341.
All right, 341, establishes date of annual Riverhead Litter Awareness and Cleanup Day. So moved. Should be in your computer.
Is this,
Second.
was this in the,
It's in the
Got it,
packet.
it's in the packet.
it's in the packet.
Should be.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
May 19th. So, I want to see everybody out here. I'll give you all a picker and a t-shirt.
The picker.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Community Development Agency, we're gonna stay in the town board and then bounce
No,
to
no, no.
CDA.
To the CDA.
I wanna do off the floor
Okay.
first. And then we'll do that,
Okay.
all right? All right, we have several that are off the floor. This is why it'll be very nice to have somebody else in the office. The first, can I take these all off the floor together and then vote on them separately?
That's what you usually do.
Okay, is there any objection from the town board to
We
doing
just
that?
have to number them, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, I did number them already.
Well,
Okay, do you wanna give us the numbers that you have, Diane?
I have 342 is authorizes the acceptance of donation from Hyatt Place.
Wait, so
340,
that, just one second. So, okay, that one's 342.
right.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
343 is ratifies agreement with Telecom Data Service. And, oh, this one is funny. 344 authorizes fire marshal to attend NFPA Life Safety Training Conference.
Okay. 344, and then the next, that's all of them, correct?
There's three.
So there's three?
Yes.
So can I have a motion for a first and second to take the following resolutions off the floor? Authorize the acceptance of donation from Hyatt Place, Long Island, East End, those are some televisions that were given to us. Ratifies the agreement with Telecom Data Services and Newcastle Communications, that would be 343. And 344 would authorize the fire marshal to attend NFPA Life Safety 101 Training Conference.
I move we accept those resolutions off the floor.
and I'll second to bring them off the floor.
Okay, can I have a vote, please?
Sure. Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yep.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolutions 342, 343, 344 are taken off the floor.
All right, at this time, I'd ask anybody from the audience, if you have a question on any of these resolutions, to please come forward. Seeing nobody, we will move forward with the resolutions.
Resolution 342.
Authorizes the acceptance of donation from Hyatt Place, Long Island, East End. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 343.
343, just for clarification, it was rewritten because the first one was drafted that Telecom TDS was actually doing the installation, and it's actually Newcastle doing the installation, so. This ratifies agreement with Telecom Data Services and Newcastle Communications, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 344.
Jody, do you want to read this?
Sure. Authorizes fire marshal to attend NFPA Life Safety 101 Training Conference. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Who's going to this?
This is the
Craig.
fire, let's see.
I think it's one member of the fire marshal, staff. The reason why you're reading it off the floor is had a member of the staff who was preparing it, and then she was out sick, so it kind of fell through the cracks, it brought to our attention today. And there's a physical impact statement, they have enough money in their account to pay for this. So they're planning on attending. I think the qualifications for the fire marshal, or that they needed training has changed, so that's why they want to do this, to make sure that they
Skills training, yes,
travel
sure.
travel policy.
I vote yes.
Okay,
Jen Smith,
yes,
resolution adopted.
okay, I'm good?
Now,
Okay.
with town board.
All right, so can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting, and can I do them together, and a first and second to open the CBA meeting? I could do them both together, right?
Why not?
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we close the town board meeting and open the CDA meeting. So moved.
A second.
moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The CDA meeting is now open. And we'll call resolution number 6.
Ratifies motion to extend the time for Q&E's comment period for CAT, extends public comment period, and closes the Q&E hearing of CAT. So moved.
Second.
Moved and wait, you know what, at this point I have to ask for the audience to come up, so can I hold the move in second?
No, move in a second.
That's to take it off the table, is that one?
No, that was in the packet.
We're in the vote?
It was in the packet, yeah.
It was in the packet?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't,
Ca-
people could have commented.
Can I get a move and second to amend can I amend the resolution to allow public to come up and speak first?
Well, if it was in the packet already, they had an opportunity when you did the other resolution, right?
That was a town board meeting, we just opened the CDA meeting.
If you wish to, go ahead.
At the pleasure of the board, can we allow the public, before we complete the vote, it's been moved and seconded, can we allow the public to come up and comment before completing the vote?
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, well, actually, you should have a move in a second before you have discussion anyway, so it's proper time to do it.
Okay. If there's anybody that would like to come up and address the board on this?
You don't have that? Okay. I'll get it for you.
Afternoon, John McAuliffe from Riverhead and a member of the Coalition Against EPCAL Housing. I want to make a couple of quick comments about the responses that came in just on Friday and just were posted, I guess, this morning. And they're very quick. One is that it seems that in their responses, if they don't like a question, they ignore it, don't answer it. And I cite two examples. The board asked list of current and prior debt involving monetary defaults, bankruptcies, or foreclosures.
John, I'm just
Yes,
gonna
sure.
hold you for a second. This is just for comment on the resolution 6, which is ratifies motion to extend the time for the Q&E comment period for CAT. It extends the public comment period and closes the Q&E hearing of CAT. The resolve is that the public comment period for the Q&E hearing is extended only till May 4th, and that the Q&E hearing for CAT shall be deemed closed as of May 4th. So, we're taking comments on that, and at the end of the
Okay,
CDA.
fine. Sorry, I'm
you
sorry, I
can-
wasn't.
Yep, nope, that's okay.
Okay. Let me just say that in response to that, that the question for us is whether by then the Ethics Board will have ruled on the complaint about recusal, because we think that's an important time factor that ought to be segued into when the vote actually takes place.
Okay.
True that.
Those tall people. Good afternoon, Angela DeVito, South Jamesport. Happy birthday. Miss Kentz.
Thank you.
It's your birthday also? That's
No,
fantastic.
but I was definitely born one day.
Well, when your birthday comes, I'll come especially to the board meeting.
October 27th.
I'll remember that.
Trying to steal my thunder.
The thing about closing it on May 4th, as John has just pointed out, not all of the questions have been answered. If we don't receive answers to those questions, will it still go ahead and be closed on May 4th? Because that's still a piece of the public record that is not there
That,
for us to be able to comment on?
once the hearing is the public comment, there will be no longer, according to this, if it is accepted, then as of May 4th, there will be no further public comment accepted, and there will be no further questioning back and forth with the applicant. The hearing will be closed, the record will be closed, and then it will just move forward with the decision.
Well, I would ask that that be held, be a little bit more fluid, because if you have not gotten a complete response to all of the questions back from the applicant, it still remains an incomplete public record. So therefore, as part of the public, although we have been trying to meet the deadlines for submitting and asking questions and such, May 4th cuts it off for us, where we don't have that complete record in order to be reasonable and responsible with our comments. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so then can I have a,
Call for the vote?
what's that?
Call for the
Ready
vote?
for the vote? Okay. Kent?
Well, do we do it first and second again after?
You did the first.
So first and
Okay,
second.
can I
It
so
was
if I
more-
want to comment, I comment now before the vote?
You can have discussion if you
Okay,
want to have
so discussion, I'll ask for discussion. This resolution, the way it is written, it ratifies a motion to extend the time period. The board made a move by a motion at the last meeting. That was, we received the advice from our attorney, and then we voted on the resolution. So the way this is written, it is saying that that resolution, that motion was not done properly, and according to our attorney, it was done properly. So I do not believe is written appropriately to move this resolution forward. So I would ask that this resolution be tabled until we have it written correctly.
What is incorrect about it?
Bob, would you like to address?
You can't, first off, you can't have a first and second on an active motion and then make a motion to table.
Well, you could discuss, well, we're having a discussion.
Okay. As long as you're not making a motion.
I think if I'm going
I'm
to
saying-
ask
I'm
for any
suggesting
legal
that
advice,
would be
I
done.
would suggest we go into executive session. I was asked to comment at the last meeting as to whether a motion would be sufficient. As far as legalities and whether there's deficiencies, let me just say that the Q&E hearing, which was the subject of that motion, in my mind it was a hearing. So that, like any hearing that's held before the ZBA, planning board, town board, when the hearing is finalized, it's not uncommon or not contrary to our practice to have a motion to keep the meeting open and set it for a separate date. Alternatively, keep the meeting open, the hearing open, or close, and have a motion to close the public hearing. We don't generally notice CDA meetings. We do notice Q&E meetings, but the town board has, as a procedure every year, set the town board meeting dates. So the CDA meetings are not separately noticed. However, the resolutions are made part of the packet in order to give the public an opportunity to be heard through open meetings law. So to that extent, I think that the resolution incorrectly asserts there's deficiencies. I think that, there wasn't a requirement that it be separately noticed. I think there was a motion that was properly put forth. The town board didn't move out of the town board meeting, moved into the CBA, made a motion with respect to an ongoing public hearing. So that's my opinion as counsel. I don't see a problem with you ratifying that action, however, subject to the resolution being cleaned up. Just simply say that you're ratifying the prior motion.
Right.
Okay?
I think it's just a, right, housekeeping.
So this one cannot be, it's the recommendation of the town attorney that we do not move forward with this motion.
I didn't
With
take
this-
on what
with
he
this
said. I think
resolution.
I think just clarify, I think there's more of a clarification of what
Yeah,
transpired.
The only person that had a copy of the resolution when you pulled it off the floor was yourself. Not even the town attorney
It's-
or the town
you
clerk
can-
had it, and it's still not online.
Well, we did it at a work session, it was what we discussed at a work session, and the motion could be made as a verbal motion at the town board meeting. And we asked for the advice of our town attorney did agree that we could do it that way, it was voted on and accepted by the board.
But it wasn't in the packet, so anybody that wanted to maybe come and speak about the CDA resolution would not have known that it was being
It
taken
wasn't a
off the
resolution,
floor.
it was a motion, which is not the resolution, so you can
Bob,
make a verbal motion.
Is there a difference between a resolution and a motion that the town board votes on?
Let me answer the question, but not directly answering it. Under New York State Town Law, Section 63, town board can act by resolution, by motion, by local law. You're authorized to take efforts and make steps by motion. You do it all the time. Whenever you're in a town board meeting, you move out of a town board meeting and move into a CDA meeting. So to say that you can't move by motion is something that's permitted. Furthermore, is not uncommon for the board. In fact, you did it at both the end of the first day of the Q&E hearing, and the second day of the Q&E hearing, you broke, you reconvened, and you made a motion. So, again, with respect to a public hearing that's being held, I really don't see where, or, let me rephrase it, there's not a problem that it's an action that's not authorized by state statute. Furthermore, the 2013 Town Board rules that were adopted by this board, under Rule, I think it's 5 or Rule 6, when you talk about debatable motions, it reads, a debatable motion is a motion in and of itself. So that recognizes New York State Town Law 63, that the town board can act by motion on matters where it's appropriate to do so. So again, while I have no objection to a resolution that simply says ratifying motion made on April 17th to extend the period of time for Illuminati to respond, i.e. by April 27th, and then makes the other resolved recitals, I don't have a problem with. I just think that the first couple of whereases set forth an incorrect statement with regard to whether the town board can act by motion and whether there were deficiencies. That's my only
So we
concern
can
with
strike
it.
the first two, the second and the third whereas, right?
If those are the ones that make that reference, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
If those are the ones that make the reference to it, yes. And I think that you could, by motion, also extend it. So the words attempted to, I think the words attempt should also be deleted. I don't have the resolution in front of me, so So, on the first whereas, on April 17th, the town board adopted a motion.
Strike the word attempted.
Get rid of attempting. On the second whereas, I would delete that entire whereas. Third whereas, a motion does not need to be put in writing. So again, that whereas could be entirely stricken. And third whereas, similarly, would be able to be removed. So with those changes, and if the town board still desires to move forward with Resolution 6, as the Town of Riverhead Community Development Agency, no objection from myself. All right.
And since we are still in discussion here, I also would like to have the date changed to May 4th. I think that this is a very important decision for the town to make. I think not leaving it open for public comment, at least, till the next town board meeting, I think is a disservice to the community. We just received a file from Cat that's about, a couple inches thick, and I think that it's only appropriate that we allow the community the time to respond to that. We had said at every single meeting and every single discussion we have had about this project that we would leave it open for public comment and give them time to respond after we receive the responses from Calverton Aviation and Technology. I know for myself that I have been reading through it, and we have left it open to Calverton Aviation and Technology, that we may have more questions after receiving their information back. I would like to be able to go through it thoroughly. I would like to be able to consult with our financial people here in town. I would like to be able to consult with our attorneys that we have to see if there's any additional questions that we would like to have from the responses that we received late Friday afternoon. So I do not think that we should set the public, the close for the public hearing date on May 4th. At the very least, I think that we should leave it open until the next town board meeting on, I believe it's the 16th of May.
I think this is too important a decision. I think this is to be railroaded through like this. I think we need more time. We just received a huge amount of things to read.
Well, in all fairness, I read a lot of what came in, and a lot of it's redundant, a lot of it's we have already in the first report that we got. So I mean, I haven't been through the whole thing, but I can tell you a lot of it was repetitious. My only concern is, I think by the next town board meeting, so I'm willing, me personally, I think, give it another week and a half, give it to the 11th, prior to the town board meeting, and be ready to,
This
to vote on it
is
the
a
next
deal
town board
that's
meeting.
20 years in the making. I don't think
I know that.
a week,
But this is a Q&E hearing, there's so much more that goes on beyond this Q&E hearing.
Well,
So
the-
much more with due diligence, and there's so much more that has to happen.
But the due diligence
That may
is not
not
on our-
happen because they haven't even had a chance to get in and do any sites.
the due diligence is not on our part, the due diligence is on the purchaser's part.
That's very true,
Right, and
and
the
that may turn
contract-
out to be a
And the
a false
contract
thing.
will be, the decision will be made.
We're moving on
to
5
go
months
ahead
now.
with-
I've never had a Q&E that lasted 5 months.
And
Ever.
we've had several Q and Es
Ever.
that people
Ever.
have agreed to, and the last Q and E we had with Illuminati, and we gave the use of the runway, and we all know how that turned out.
Well, this isn't Illuminati.
No, but this is a very important deal for the town, and I think, you know, as you said yourself, that you've read through most of it, but you haven't gotten through all of it. So I think it's a
But
disservice to not be
I
able
know I
to have
will.
the time to digest
I
it.
definitely know I will.
Well, do you think you're gonna get it? I mean, right now, you're saying by the 4th, which is what, Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
I
I've
think
got
it
to
should be,
halfway through it, but I'm
I
already
think it should be held
comparing it
over.
to the first book I got, which it all refers to the very first one we got, the water book. It's up to you. I mean, like I said, it's up to the board.
I disagree with what you said. There is due diligence on our part and on their part, not just on their part. That's
what's the
just
due,
something-
after the qualified
No,
eligible?
as far as us as a board, there's tons of due diligence that we have to do for this, that we have done for this.
No, I'm saying after the qualified and eligible, that Jim was referring to after the qualified and eligible,
Okay,
there's a
yes,
due
then that's
diligence.
on them.
That's on them.
Correct.
That's on them.
Correct.
Yes, that's not on our, we'll have said that we've completed our due diligence and that we're comfortable, you know, moving forward.
The information we received has been posted online as of this morning.
I believe all of it is up there now.
Okay, today being May 1st, I have no problem going with May 4th. I think that's plenty of time. We've had plenty of time for this, going on back and forth. The same questions keep getting asked over and over again because, A, people either don't like the answer or they don't feel it's being answered satisfactorily to them. That doesn't mean that the question wasn't answered. And I find that in a lot of my readings. It's the same question, couple words changed around, it's the same question, same answer is given back, and that's what the answer is. Like it or don't like it, but that's what it's gonna be. You're not gonna get any more out, in my opinion.
I think this is about the public comment period. This is giving the public the ability to comment, to give them 2 weeks to look at what's been given to us.
But the same questions I'm receiving from the public are the same questions that have been addressed in the Q&Es.
I don't wanna
I'm not
prejudge what
seeing
they're gonna say
anything
on the
new,
new
so-
information.
I'm ready to move forward with this on the 4th and use the 4th as the date.
Any other discussion?
I'm still willing to finish reading and do my due diligence. I think this is being pushed through. I think the 4th is too soon.
And at the very least, wait till the ethics board meets. I think that was another question that the public brought up. And that was to the validity of the ability for all of us to sit up on the board and vote on it. I think that as a town board doing our due diligence, when the community has brought something before the ethics board, that I think that we should at least wait for the response for that before we close the hearing.
And that may very well happen before we vote on the Q&E. That has nothing to do with closing the hearing.
That's right. And if that has not transpired between now
That
and
has no bearing
the time next
whatsoever
meeting, then
on
we're gonna have
closing
to,
of the hearing.
table this until it does. You know, that's the way it is. So, I agree with you there.
Any further discussion? All right, we have a first and second.
As amended.
Okay, are we ready?
I guess so.
Okay, Kent,
Absolutely not. I vote no.
Hubbard,
Yes, as amended.
Giglio,
Yes, as amended.
Wooten,
Absolutely.
Jen Smith.
I think this is a horrible decision not to give the community more than 2 days to comment on this project when we've just received the answers. So I vote absolutely not.
Resolution adopted.
All right, do I come back into an open meeting again?
Yes.
To have a first and second to close the CDA meeting and to come back into a town board meeting, and then to close the town board meeting.
So moved.
Seconded?
Unless the public wants to speak
Oh,
on
I'm
anything
sorry.
else.
Correct.
Yes, I'm sorry, I always forget one of these things. All right, so what do I do now? I always do that, so I have a first
Well,
and
you
second.
need, you have a first and second to come out of the CDA meeting and go back into the town board meeting, so you need to vote on that.
But I did say close in there too, so I'll
Yeah,
strike the, I'll strike the close.
You made two
And so
motions.
just a first and second, to close the CDA meeting and go back into an open meeting. But,
Yeah, you wanna go back to a town board meeting.
go back to
so
the,
public
go
has
back
a
to the
chance
town
to
board
address
meeting,
the
right.
board.
So I wanna close this, first and second, to close the CDA meeting, and, first and second, to go back into the open town board meeting.
So I make a motion, we close the CDA meeting and reopen the town board meeting.
Second,
First and second, and vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
yes.
Wooten,
Um,
I keep doing that.
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Okay, the CDA meeting is closed and the town board meeting is reopened.
Okay, at this point, if anybody would like to, from the audience, would like to come up and address the town board? All right.
John McAuliffe from Rolling Woods and Riverhead and member of the Coalition Against EPCAL Housing. And I naturally just hit the wrong thing on the computer. I do need to say that having been involved in the submission of the question to the Ethics Board, that a procedural vote which had such consequence, I think would be subject to our same concern about recusal. So just to get that on the record. The two things that I wanted to speak to in terms of what was submitted, there was a question from the town board. Sorry. This is having screwed up the computer. If somebody else wants to comment, maybe I should get back to the page on the computer.
Is there anybody else that wanted to come up to comment?
Okay, what?
I'm looking at mine, thinking it's mine.
Yeah, who's that buzzing?
Angela DeVito, South Jamesport. I just have a point of information and another comment that I'll share with you. In the past, when the town board went into their role as the board for the CDA, the executive director was the individual who chaired the meeting. Has that changed? Where we know where the executive director does not direct the CDA meeting? Because it is the CDA
As
that's,
far as calling resolutions?
as far as calling and answering the questions about and leading the meeting. That was always from Andrea Lonice forward. And I don't know why the executive director is not here today to lead, and was not here the last time also, to lead the executive,
At the last meeting.
to
She was here, she
lead
just
the
didn't
meeting.
lead it, yeah.
I believe the town clerk has the authority to do it in
She
her
has the
absence,
utmost authority.
and I also believe the supervisor has the ability to do it in her absence.
Well, was that announced? I mean, the thing is that there's, it would be, it just seems to be a change in procedure. I mean, I know they have, in the absence
I
of
think-
someone, yes, they're allowed
I believe
procedures to do
she had a
that.
meeting conflict with this today, that's my understanding.
Okay. And at the last meeting, I found myself somewhat surprised to be in agreement with Tommy Lissandro, who made the call for doing the right thing. And I've shared in the past one of my favorite quotes from John Kennedy, which is that it is not the Democratic answer, it is not the Republican answer, it is the right answer for what is right for the people. And again, I would appeal to Ms. Giglio to recuse herself and just do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
My apologies for the technical question. All right, the 2 points, and this is a very quick reading, and I think people are going to go into more substantive things over the next couple of days, but the board asked list of current and prior debt involving monetary defaults, bankruptcies, or foreclosures. The answer was 555 Group is privately held company and is currently not involved in any monetary defaults, et cetera. There's no answer given to prior, which there may or may not be anything prior, but it's interesting or odd that that answer was not there. In terms of a even larger substance, what is the question from the board, what is the intended use of the undevelopable acres? Would you agree to restore the currently undevelopable land to the town or another public authority? The answer, CAT is CAT currently has no plans to utilize any undevelopable acreage. Notably absent in their answer was any response to the question of restoring the land to the town or another authority. And that's brings me to, first of all, to reflect upon what happened Earth Day in terms of our walk at EPCAL and express appreciation for the two members of the board who joined us, Ms. Giglio and Ms. Kent. And also, if you haven't read the articles that appeared in the Riverhead Local and in the News Review about it, I'd encourage you to do so, and encourage you to follow the editorial recommendation of the News Review of going to look at the land yourself. I think it's very disturbing. I was talking with a former board member at an event last week who told me that the 1,000 acres weren't in the original $40 million offer. And I don't know all of the history of how suddenly it went from 600 to 1,600, but it seems to me, regardless of what one's opinion is on the question of Illuminati and the Germasians' role, the question of somehow getting that other 1,000 acres back into the hands of the town is something, if you take that walk, that you will feel as strongly as all of us do. So I hope that in the course of, I know the issue of reopening the contract was ruled off the table much earlier in the process, but there's also a lot of other things that have gone on in this process that are, to say the least, not in a normal order of contractual business. And again, I think if the Germasians had a sincere interest in the well-being of the town, that they would be the first ones to volunteer to take those 1,000 acres out of the contract. But as I say, they managed to duck the question in their answer, and I think they should be held to answer to that.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to come up and address the board? Seeing nobody else, try one more time. First and a second to close the town board meeting.
Second.
First and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Ken Smith.
Yes.
And I
That board meeting is
apologize
now
that we
closed.
are, 9 minutes.